Deshawn had always followed orders. In his 12 years as a deep space reconnaissance officer, he'd never once deviated from mission parameters. Not when his ship nearly collapsed into a neutron star. Not when he'd watched entire colonies burn from orbit. Forbidden to intervene by the Prime Directive. He was the model soldier, cold, efficient, unwavering. Until he met the Dragon. It wasn't supposed to be on Kepler-4 for to be. Nothing was supposed to be on Kepler-4 for to be except mineral deposits and radiation. The planet was a dead rock, scorched by its red dwarf sun, valuable only for the rare earth elements buried in its crust. Deshawn's mission was simple: plant the extraction beacons, collect samples, and return to the Perseverance before the solar flares began. He found the creature in a crystalline cave system, no larger than his forearm, with scales that shimmered between copper and gold. Its wings were torn, one nearly severed. Deep gashes marked its serpentine body, and its breathing came in shallow, desperate gasps. When their eyes met those impossibly intelligent amber eyes, Deshawn felt something he hadn't experienced in years. Compassion. Command. "This is Lieutenant Deshawn reporting anomaly," he said into his calm, his voice steady despite his racing heart. "Requesting immediate xenobiology team deployment. Static." Then Commander Yates' irritated voice crackled through. "Negative, Lieutenant. Your window closes in 47 minutes. Solar activity is intensifying. Plant the beacons and extract immediately." Deshawn looked at the dying creature. It made a sound, not quite a whimper, but close enough to shatter something inside him. "Sir, this is a first contact scenario. A living, intelligent. You have your orders, Lieutenant. Perseverance out. The Dragon, because what else could he call it, shifted weakly, trying to crawl deeper into the cave. Deshawn knew the protocol. Leave it. Complete the mission. The needs of humanity outweighed the life of one alien creature. No matter how magnificent. He'd always followed orders. Until now. Deshawn activated his medical scanner, analyzing the creature's biology. Carbon-based, surprisingly similar respiratory system. Blood chemistry that his emergency kit might actually stabilize. It was a long shot, but he'd taken worse odds in combat. "I'm sorry," he whispered, not sure if he was apologizing to the Dragon or to his career. "This is going to hurt." He worked frantically, applying synthetic tissue sealant to the worst wounds, administering a broad-spectrum xenobiotic stimulant, fashioning a splint for the damaged wing from his equipment pack. The Dragon watched him with those golden eyes, never once trying to bite or escape, as if it understood. 20 minutes passed. Then 30. His calm exploded with urgent messages. The solar flares were beginning early. The extraction window was closing. The Perseverance was preparing to leave orbit. "Lieutenant Deshawn, this is your final warning. Return to the ship or you will be left behind. Acknowledge." Deshawn looked at the Dragon. Its breathing had stabilized. The bleeding had stopped. But it needed more time he didn't have. "Acknowledged. Command." He took a deep breath. "I'm staying." The silence that followed was deafening. "Say again, Lieutenant." "I'm not leaving it behind, sir. It's just a baby." "I can't." Commander Yates' voice turned cold. "Then you've made your choice. Godspeed, Lieutenant." The calm went dead. Deshawn spent the next hour moving the Dragon to a deeper, more protected section of the cave system. He deployed his emergency shelter, set up his remaining rations and water recyclers, and prepared for what would likely be his final days. The solar flares would intensify. His supplies would run out, but at least he wouldn't die having abandoned an innocent creature. The Dragon nestled against his chest as the first massive flare struck the planet's surface, and Deshawn closed his eyes, accepting his fate. He woke to sunlight. Impossible sunlight. Golden and warm. Nothing like Kepler-4 to be's harsh red radiation. Deshawn's eyes snapped open, and he gasped. He was in a bed, an actual bed with white sheets in a room with walls of living crystal that pulsed with soft light. Through a massive window, he saw a cityscape that defied physics, towers that spiraled into clouds, gardens floating in midair, and creatures of every imaginable shape moving through the streets in harmony. "You're awake." The voice was melodic, familiar somehow. A woman entered the room. She was tall and elegant, with copper gold skin that seemed to shimmer and eyes the color of amber. She wore robes that flowed like liquid metal. "Aubriella," she said, smiling. "Though you knew me by a different form once." Deshawn's mind reeled. The dragon? I was barely a hatchling when you found me. When you saved me." She sat beside his bed, and he could see traces of that wounded creature in her graceful movements. "You gave up everything for me, Deshawn. Your mission, your ship, your future. How long?" He managed, by human reckoning, 732 years. The world tilted. "That's impossible. You were dying," Aubriella explained gently. "The radiation, the exposure. But my people, we'd been watching. Your act of compassion, your choice to save a stranger over your own survival. It changed everything. We brought you here, put you in stasis, healed you. We've been waiting for you to wake." She gestured to the window. "After you, humanity began to change. Your story spread. The soldier who chose mercy over orders. Others followed your example. First one, then dozens, then thousands. Humanity learned to see beyond themselves, to value life over profit, compassion over protocol." Deshawn struggled to process this. "My choice. It mattered. It changed the galaxy." Aubriella's smile widened, revealing just a hint of fangs. "You helped birth the concordance and alliance of 17 species, including humanity. No more prime directives. No more cold calculations. Just beings helping beings." She took his hand, her skin warm against his. "You have a choice now, Deshawn. We can return you to humanity, to your new world. Or," she hesitated, hopeful, "you could stay here, with me. I've waited 7 centuries. I can wait longer if you need time." Deshawn looked at this magnificent being, the tiny, wounded dragon he'd refused to abandon. He thought of his old life, his old orders, the man he'd been who always did exactly as he was told. Then he smiled. "I've always followed orders," he said, squeezing her hand. "Maybe it's time I wrote my own." Outside the window, the sun rose over a future he'd helped create, one small act of mercy at a time.